You have 24 hours to waste 1 million and not own anything after. How do you do it? Story 1. Find a house for around 1,000 PCM, pay rent up front for the next 83 years, equal to a 1,000 months roof over my head, and technically I own nothing. Story 2. Buy a shitload of games on Steam. Technically, I don't own any of them. I just have a license for them. Answer. Sorry, but the value of all games on Steam right now, due to the Steam sale, is only $500,000. If only you had better timing, they would have been worth $1.3 million. And TBH, I don't think in 24 hours it would even be possible to buy over 101,000 games, including DLC Extra making 179,000. Hell, you probably couldn't even hire a team to buy all of the games that fast. But maybe, just maybe, you could contact Steam HQ or owner and say, I need to buy every game on Steam now, and they might just make a special bundle for you, LOL. Story 3. 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pastas, 55 peppers, and 155 taters. And a bunch of cocaine. Story 4. Tough one. Assuming I can't just enrich my friends and family, maybe expensive day in Monaco with friends and maybe some family, most expensive yacht charter with all the super expensive foods and drinks money can buy, short fishing trip, maybe a chopper ride, explore a little bit by renting a supercar and then probably lose most of it, the casino, then donate leftovers. Story 5. Easy. Go to Vegas and play the million the same way I play 100. The result is the same. It's all gone before I know it, and I got nothing to show for it. Story 6. It's sad to say, but you could blow through that in about 10 mins just by going through GoFundMe and finding people that are raising money for medical bills or procedures to improve their lives. Story 7. Go downtown and bet 1,000 people $1,000 each. I can guess their birthday. Guess Feb 29th on each one. Or bet them I can guess their weight and guess 20-50 pounds light. Double bonus, give everybody money and good vibes. Story 8. Buy a townhouse on a lake or beach. Hire a title company to draw up a trust. Boom. Trust owns the property, but I control the trust. Story 9. Dine out 3 to 4 times and tip the entire staff $10K each. Find charities and hand them a stack, but make sure you get witnesses. And something influenced by my own life, I go to college campuses and search for non-traditional students with children of their own and hit them with a stack. I went to Mizzou full-time after getting married and having 2 kids. Many occasions I prayed for some miracle like that to ease the burden. Story 10. If you're asking us to pull a mini Brewster's Millions, what are the rules? What's to stop us from gambling it away or spending it on V-Bucks card coins? Story 11. Well, if we want to get technical, I could blow it all on video games on Steam, since according to AAA publishers, when I spend money on video games, I don't own them. I am buying the right to play them, and they believe they have the right to revoke my access to their game at any time. Sign the petition, folks. www.stopkillinggames.com. Story 12. 2 chicks at the same time. I think if I were a millionaire, I could hook that up too, 'cause chicks dig dudes with money. Story 13. Head to the county tax office and pay off as many people's back property taxes so the state can't seize their homes. Story 14. Pay for premium Disney vacations for 200 random families, 7 days at a deluxe resort, park hopper passes, and whatever they're calling fast passes these days. Plus food, of course. Story 15. Go to the casino and bet like crazy on roulette, black or red, easy to lose. Hell, bet black and red both at the same time, you lose half your money each time until you get low enough to lose it all. Story 16. Define waste, because I'd start buying unhoused people SUVs and vans, something to keep them out of the cold but cheap enough to not blow through the million too quickly. Need to spread the impact to as many as possible. Story 17. Use it to fix the roads leading to my house. I get a nicer drive, and it's not on my property, so I don't own it. Story 18. This doesn't seem that challenging to me. Working with my city, that doesn't even touch a fraction of what most infrastructure projects would cost. I'd say put in a trust, executed by a lawyer, who has to be paid, for a small scholarship for people who want to go into trade schools. Or maybe have enough to renovate some small park equipment, although it'd be crossing heck and high water to get the bid and acceptance within that time period. So, probably create a lawyer-owned trust. Throw it all in there with instructions for how the money should be managed. Then it could help out kids with the dividends for years. Story 19. Charter a private jet and fly to NYC to catch Denzel Washington in Othello. Bribe the usher to get me good seats. Go out to dinner at La Nacional in Manhattan. Stay at a posh hotel. Get up to room service breakfast very early. Go to a museum and be home by supper time in Vermont. Story 20. I would rent a private island and hire as many of my favorite bands to play live for me and guests. I'd get Michelin-rated chefs to cook our meals from the rarest and fanciest foods. I'd have private jets or yachts to pick us up and drop us off. I'd buy expensive champagne and have fog and bubble machines set up everywhere. Might rent some rides or attractions if there's enough left. Story 21. Take 4 friends on a 4-season tour with the single supplement. Grand Horizons 2026. I would need to chip in another $7,600. If I assume no tax, it is $7,600. Story 22. So the only thing is that I can't physically own anything or have the 1 mem in my bank account physically in my possession. Easy. Transfer 1 mem to my mom. Story 23. Aha! The old Brewster's Millions watching pays off while Gen Z languishes in ruin. Ha 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 ha! Being old is the best. Story 24. What is the threshold for owning? Can I get plane tickets for a future date? Or would that be owning something even though after the flights I wouldn't have anything tangible? Could I pay off my mortgage without that being owning something at the end because I already own it? Or the student loans my parents took out for my education, could I pay that off? What about things that I bought with my usual bank account? Like, can I spend the 1 mem on a trip to Asia and then buy souvenirs with my everyday account? And I guess, in the same vein, what is the threshold for wasting? I would definitely follow some of the ideas in here, like following tips in the Wall Street sub. But is that considered a waste? Or owning, since you'd own stocks? This could be the TISM, but I need clearer instructions. Story 25. Is it a waste to donate it? I've had this idea for a long time, helping people who can't afford to fix their house. I came up with it when I found out that this Vietnam veteran, who was clearly still suffering from his service, he died in his house because it literally fell on him. I don't know whether it eliminated him when it fell or whether he just became trapped and couldn't get out and died of starvation and exposure. But there's a couple of other houses in my town which look like they're about to fall down too. The people that live there are mostly elderly and I can't afford to fix it. Story 26. Screen Brewster's Millions at the Kennedy Center, and if there's enough, free beer for everyone. Vote none of the above. Story 27. Buy a really nice house for my friend and make sure I have a lifelong right to live there in the land register. For the rest of the money, probably toys for my dog and hookers. Story 28. I'd wipe out all the students' lunch debt, make sure every kid has the proper school supplies, and the teachers are well stocked instead of digging in their own pockets. Story 29. Set up a limited liability company in my name. Apparently, it can be done online in 24 hours in my country. Invest the money into the company using one of those quick setup challenger banks as the corporate account. Then do random business shoot and draw a wage from whatever the business is. Story 30. Put it in a trust for my dog with me as his sole caretaker, responsible for his care and needs. I know he needs property and a house to live in. Story 31. I'm buying 1 million worth of medical debt. Be a person of the people. Become vilified when I can't do it again. Story 32. Put everything in a trust. You don't own it. The living trust does. Now I can buy whatever the hell I want and use it. Story 33. You don't own anything after, like all of what you bought disappears. I just get rid of my debt and any of my friends' debts, and then any debts that I can cover after that. Story 34. Pay for meals for all of the homeless in our city. Pay medical bills for those with balances at our local hospital. I'm sure I'd be tapped out then. Story 35. I'd pay my outrageous HOA fees and sketchy condo assessments, real time, and the balance to be held in escrow. I can't think of anything more wasteful. Story 36. Or I would pay influencers to hype a fake crypto coin, drive it to the moon, and rug pull it myself. Spend the profits on hot dogs for pigeons. Story 37. A substantial donation to the local police benevolent association, another to the town fund, and some to the local churches. Can't hurt to buy some protection. Maybe buy a new truck too. Give our 2 sons cash for down payments when they want to buy a house. Edit. Give the truck to my wife. Story 38. Pre-booking dozens of trips around the world as far out as the airlines allow me to book. First class on every flight, luxury hotels, and prepaying for tours, excursions, and activities. I would do 20 of these pre-booked trips at $50K, each spread out over 2 years. Then when I go back to being broke, I have all these trips and only have to pay for food and drink when I'm there. Story 39. Bulk orders and rubber duckies, then send them all down the river. Duckies will come consume all it touches. Story 40. I wouldn't. That sounds like an enormous, stressful hassle for nothing, and Mr. Brewster can suck my cock. Story 41. Donate it to my community. We're a small village, so budgets are low. This money would allow us to upgrade the water system. Not sure it qualifies as wasting, though. Story 42. I mean, it would be pretty easy to just go to the middle of any town and just hand out free money. You could get rid of 1 million in a few hours. But a bit shoot if you aren't allowed to keep any of it for yourself. Story 43. Easy. I'd take care of some much-needed dental work I've been unable to afford, and then I'd drive 10 minutes to my city's animal shelter and give them all that was left. My rescue doggo of 8 years passed away back in March, and I miss him terribly. Story 44. Pay off sister's medical bills from cancer and pay off family's car payment, so housing and food bills become easier. The rest to pay down some of my mortgage. Story 45. Set up a trust, buy a decent house with land, and pay off the car I have. Put everything into the trust. Trust owns everything. I just have to make reasonable payments to the trust to use it. Story 46. Sorry, man, but I use it to get family and friends out of debt, medical and otherwise, so who knows how much would be left over. Story 47. Short 3,133 shares of TSLA, which is owning the shares. Hey, never said I could use it as leverage to make even more money. Story 48. Easy. Casino. Rent a room for the duration of the event. Trade the 1M for chips. Put chips in the room. Stay in the room and wait for event to end, verifying that I don't own anything. Once completed, grab chips, trade them for 1M, win. Story 49. Lotto tickets. I can't own the tickets, but I can own the cash I make from them. I'm willing to bet if you spent $1 million on lotto tickets, you're gonna make a decent return. Story 50. If I had to waste it in terms of being stupid with it, a vacation, considering how poor I am, I think I could make a case for that being wasteful. Story 51. Payday for family and some relatives, making sure to show them proof that I kept none of it, so enjoy the cash and don't bother me afterwards. Story 52. Hire a stupidly expensive consulting firm to look into a way to waste 1 million. If you looked around, I'm sure you could find some firm that would charge 1 million in fees just for the consultation. Story 53. Taking all my homies to a range that rents full auto, confident we could blow through 1,000 in an hour. Story 54. 1. Gamble 500,000 at a high-stakes casino. 2. Charter private jets for 200,000. 3. Hire a celebrity or DJ for a 150,000 private show. 4. Eat and drink at luxury restaurants for 100,000. 5. Rent exotic cars and stay in luxury hotels for 50,000. At the end, I'll have no assets, just memories and maybe a hangover. Story 55. Go to the bank and buy 1 million in gold bullion. Takes some time for that to go through, so I wouldn't own anything when the time elapsed. I'd own it days later when the bullion got delivered. Story 56. I buy a nice house and put it in my son's name. That way I don't own it, but I still can live there, and once he is 18, Joel should give him the house to live in. Story 57. Buy whatever I can think of and donate the rest. I have no clue how to waste money besides buying adult beverage with it, so I would just go shopping and donate to not have anything just disappear. I am pretty sure I messed up that sentence. No idea how to fix it, though. Story 58. Not own anything, meaning I can't spend it on things I want like a new TV or house. 'Cause if so, then I'm just going to use the money to pay off my mom's car loan, get an MRI, cancer testing, other blood tests, x-rays of bones, 'cause there's a lot wrong with me. And then after all that, I'll go get something to eat. Story 59. Have a really nice meal, book one hell of a vacation abroad, then the rest goes to animal charities. Story 60. I'd hire a camera crew to follow me around as I give away money to the needy. The money will be gone by the end of the day, but people won't know I had to get rid of it anyway. Kinda how charity tax breaks already works for the ultra-rich LOL. Story 61. All in into donut token. Oh wait, that would make me richer. Then all in into Harry Potter Sonic Obama Inu. Story 62. Just donate it to my local senator. They wouldn't even give a shoot about a messily 1 million donation. Story 63. I donate it to the local hospital with the condition that they name a ward or something after me. Or start multiple scholarships, all named after me. Story 64. Few hours of hookers, adult beverage, and cocaine, and then the rest of the time gambling, adult beverage, and cocaine. Story 65. pay off the remainder of the mortgage on my parents' house, and they can use it to rent out, so they have some income, but can retire from work, then buy them their dream house with the rest. Story 66. Buy stock. If owned in a brokerage, they aren't in your name legally. You are the beneficial owner instead. Story 67. Pay off debt. Buy plane tickets and accommodation packages for a year-long travel spree. Gamble. None of that ends with me owning additional things. Story 68. I buy transferable machine guns from out-of-state sellers. For each one, there are at least 2 sets of paperwork for transfers that each must be approved by the ATF. The first has to be completed before the next can begin. I wouldn't legally own them until the last transfer background check is approved and I take possession of the item. Story 69. Send a group of loved ones on an all-expenses prepaid trip and give the rest in prepaid Visa cards. You own nothing, and they will love the experience. Story 70. Give a trusted person the 1 Nemen and ask them not to spend more than 100 of it. After 24 HRs, I still don't own the money, technically. Now, get the money back from that person. Story 71. Spend the first few hours flying to NYC or Chicago or anywhere that would have the highest density of Michelin star restaurants possible. Eat at as many as possible in that time. See whatever concert was happening that night in that city. Every other penny will be donated to any of the various charities I have raised money for before, as well as to underprivileged school music programs. Story 72. Rent a jumbo jet and fly around in circles. www.paramountbusinessjets.com. Rents a 747 for $31,000 an hour. That will take $750,000 in 24 hours. The rest? Maybe rent a Hummer and parachute it off the jumbo jet. Story 73. I don't like the word waste, but I could easily find things to spend money on and not own anything afterwards. Story 74. Throw a big party for anyone who wants to come. Call every party rental company and rent all the toys. Buy food, booze, and substances for everyone. Buy plane tickets for anyone out of state. Get a couple DJs and celebs. Basically, I would throw the world's biggest house party. Story 75. Can I just donate it? I mean, obviously, if there are loopholes, like donate it to my wife kid, but if I can't benefit from it at all, owning nothing new, tomorrow, I'll find a noble charity or group of charities. I'll probably take all my friends and peeps out to a nice dinner as well. Story 76. Based on Brewster's Millions, Richard Pryor version, go to high-end stamp collection store. Buy rare and expensive stamps. Use them to send unspecial letters to people. Story 77. How much would renting the Sphere to play Mario Kart World for a few hours cost? Oh, and hire 23 F1 racers to play with me and have Nintendo find a way to have all 24 racers on split screens in the Sphere. Story 78. Buy $1 million of rare uncancelled stamps at your local collector store and mail letters to your mom because you haven't called her recently, have you? Story 79. Fly first class to New York, stay at a ridiculous hotel suite, and eat ridiculously expensive food, then go to the nearest Walmart, Bodega, Target type place and pay for everyone's orders. Story 80. I'll divorce my wife and buy her a waterfront house. We'll shack up together and get remarried when no one is looking. Story 81. It's not exactly wasting. Book the most incredible holiday and pay someone a lot of money to come and look after my house and cats while I go. Story 82. I'd pull a reverse Bonnie Blue, but no woman is sane enough to do it for free. So I'd pay the first 1,000 for the sloppiest top you ever did get. Story 83. I buy the most expensive thing I can buy in one day and gift it to someone, and they will gift it to me back after 24 hours, and I will give them some cash for helping me. Story 84. Buy every video game I can ever hope for. Apparently, I will not be owning anything and will only get access to a digital license, so... Story 85. Would it be easy to spend 1M in 24 hours? Yes. Would it be easy to not have anything to show for that 1M spent? Also, yes. Would it be easy to not own anything? Not even the clothes on your back, your house, your computer, your 401k, your house, car, Pokemon card collection. After 24 hours? Hell no. So maybe call a lawyer, divorce your significant other, or just find a relative or a friend and sign over everything you own to them and get it notarized. Even then, if you have a house or a 401k, it'd be impossible to transfer it within 24 hours, as most require days or weeks to process the transfer. Basically, you better not own anything to begin with when you get that 1M dollars, or you'll never get rid of it in 24 hours. Story 86. Bet it all on black. If I win, pocket the winnings. Play again until I lose. There, I partied too hard, 1 million. Perhaps I luckily have a few million for myself after. Can you own money? I don't think so. I believe the Federal Reserve has sole rights to owning it. Story 87. Use the money to pay off debts for myself and my extended family. Then put what's left into my wife's savings account that I'm not on. Story 88. I distribute to nonprofit organizations and foundations. I would have a field day to choose the orgs to give to. Story 89. Bring me all the hookers and blow you have. Wait, I think you may have heard bring me a lot of hookers and blow. I said bring me all the hookers and blow you have. Story 90. I'd spend 24 HRs booking and prepaying trips for me, family, and friends for the next 12 months. Flights would be first class or business class, and accommodations would be high-end. Story 91. I'll ask my brother to sell me a cookie for $1 million. Then I will eat the cookie, so it's gone. What a waste. Story 92. You could easily do this with same-day spy options, but unfortunately, there is a small chance of making a lot more money. Story 93. Watches and cars, my man. Watches and cars. A new ZR1 Corvette gifted to my dad, and new Audemars Piguet watches for everybody that talks to me for the rest of the day. Very easy. Story 94. Buy $1 million worth of gold coins and tragically lose them all in a boating accident in the 23rd hour. Story 95. What if I just pay my sister $1 million to wash the dishes? I don't own the million and didn't get anything to keep in return, but the money stays in the family. Story 96. Give it to family to help pay off their debts, etc. Then they can gift the remainder once the timer runs out. Story 97. Everyone gets free pies. I give the $1 million to a national chain of pie shops, and anyone can walk in and have a free pie until the money is all gone. They can probably predict how long this would take, so it could be like a happy hour sort of deal. Story 98. In the spirit of the game, I won't try to beat the system. Get a round-trip ticket on a private jet to Vegas. Invited as many friends and family as I love across the country. Buy their tickets. Book a bunch of amazing hotel rooms. Do a helicopter tour over the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. Just find fun, expensive shoot to do I'd never spend money on. Go to some amazing Michelin restaurant and reserve a whole room. Wine pairings, Wagyu. Invite friends and family to go nuts. Next morning, rent out another amazing restaurant for brunch. Maybe end the 24 hours by renting a pool at a fancy hotel and having it all to ourselves, have all the food and drinks we want, anything left bet on black, and just give the winnings to my friends and family. Story 99. I just give 500K to my mom and sister each. I fulfill the condition of not owning anything after, and my sister and mom will be rich. Story 100. Buy a nice house for a friend or relative and prepay for years of house cleaning services, but I get to live there. Story 101. Make a contract with a maid, live with me for 10 years, and buy my personal maid chef. Get a full $1 million up front. If she breaks the contract, she owes me $1 million. Story 102. Probably some cool experience that I could never afford, like flying a private jet to Ibiza and eating at the most expensive restaurant there.